You know what else doesn't matter? Peter Thomas. You know, Peter Thomas has been facing so much in the last few years in regards to his businesses. We shouldn't be surprised because things have been shaky. But you know, I told you at one point, I was like, you know what, Peter seems like he's doing well, only for us to find out, no, he's not doing so well. If you missed any of our other updates in the last few months about Peter Thomas and his businesses, be sure to check it out. We're going to give you an update because Peter Thomas says, oh, Lord, that a court has ordered for him to pay $9 million over a never-opened Miami restaurant. He says they'll never see a dime. Peter says he ain't got it. Peter says he ain't got it. So this is what Radar Online is reporting. Ex-Real Housewives of Atlanta star Cynthia Bailey. Damn, Cynthia. It's your fault, Cynthia. You brought him on. You brought him into our lives. So they said Cynthia Bailey's ex-husband, Peter Thomas, was hit with a massive 7-figure judgment over a Miami restaurant he planned to open. So this is not about Bar One or Bar None. This is about another restaurant. I wonder if it was a restaurant with him and then Dr. Wendy Asefo. Dr. Wendy Asefo, I know you are at home like this. So are we. So according to court documents obtained by Radar, last month, a Miami judge granted a default judgment in favor of DTS Retail against Peter Thomas, his now closed Miami restaurant, Bar One Miami Beach, and his separate business, One Society. They said that Thomas ran Bar One from 2019 until late last year when the business was evicted over unpaid rent. Before the eviction, Thomas had plans to open a separate upscale supper club. He's always got plans, named One Society. He said he planned to spend $3 million on the project. The project never took off, and the company formed for One Society was dissolved. So DT Retail was the landlord for the location where Thomas planned to open One Society. In January 2023, DT sued Thomas and his businesses. The landlord claimed One Society signed a 120-month lease for the location. Look, do the math. 120 months. There are 12 months in a year. That's 10 years. Damn. That's not unusual, though. That's not unusual. Because I've seen that happen before. At the time, DTS said One Society owed $61,000 in back rent. In addition, the landlord said that Thomas had failed to produce the tenant's plans within 30 days of the lease being executed as required per their deal. The company claimed that One Society refused to turn over the keys despite the breaches. DTS demanded Thomas be ordered to vacate the location and cough up the unpaid rent. Sound familiar in regards to Peter? Ooh. Thomas and Bar One were listed as defendants in the lawsuit due to them being guarantors on the lease. In response, Thomas denied all the allegations of wrongdoing. We know. We're used to him saying this. He argued DTS breached the lease by failing to provide him sufficient access to the premises. He argued DTS actions excuse his obligations under the lease until the breach was cured. Thomas responded by One Society did not file an official answer. Oh. So Peter Thomas responded, but One Society did not file. Remember, One Society was the business that he had. One Society did not file an official answer, which led the judge granting a default judgment against One Society and ordered the company to vacate the premises immediately. Damn. In a recent motion for this default judgment, DTS argued that One Society and Thomas had not paid the lease continuing monthly obligations of base rent, which began March 1st of 2023. So it's been a year. and other operating expenses, insurance, and property taxes. DTS claimed due to the default, One Society and Peter Thomas were responsible for damages including accelerated rent and operating expenses due under the lease. The landlord demanded $9,175,189.38. Ooh. Which includes all rent owed on the 120-month lease and other expenses. On February 27th of this year, the court granted the default judgment and awarded DTS $9.1 million plus attorney's fees from Peter Thomas and One Society. I feel bad for him, y'all. Maybe I'm just too empathetic. I feel bad because this is not good. It's just one blow after the next. But that also makes me think, Peter Thomas, you've been accused of some damning things over the years and recently, especially how you treat your workers and if they get paid or not, or on time, allegedly. Peter tells Radar Online, he's talking to the blogs. Peter tells Radar Online he plans to appeal the judgment. He should. He says, I'm going to win. Or should I do it in Jamaican? I'm going to win. He says, they'll never see a dime. Thomas accused the landlord of micromanaging him and failing to give him the keys on time. As you know, Radar first reported that Thomas's Bar 1 was evicted from its beachfront location over unpaid rent. The restaurant has since closed. A few weeks later, Thomas was arrested for driving under the influence in Georgia. Prosecutors have yet to file any criminal charges over the incident. Thomas and Bailey, as you know, Cynthia Bailey, were married for 7 years before getting a divorce in 2017. I know Andy Cohen recently asked Cynthia Bailey about Peter. She did not want to talk about it. She did not want to talk about it. She said, that is for him to talk about. I don't want any involvement. I don't want any involvement. We have always so much to talk about and unpack when it comes to this situation on Tuesday Takeover, okay? So we have to quickly move on to something else, all right?
You bring the lighter, I got the fuse. You make a fire, I'll ask you. Follow my lead.